Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Mikey Makes. This afternoon, shut it. This afternoon I'm going to make Mary Berry's Battenberg cake.
Sorry.
However, I'm not going to concentrate too much on the actual making of the cake because that's a piece of cake, as it were. It's more of the construction. And I'm not doing the walnut one because we haven't got any walnuts. And it's not going to be brown because we haven't got brown food colouring.
Get on with it.
So anyway, that's what's going to happen. So I'll have to talk you through the ingredients first. Cut! Okay, so the ingredients. In there we've got 116 grams of marge. I've got 116 grams of caster sugar. I've got 2 organic free-range eggs. I've got 116 grams of self-raising flour and a teaspoon of baking powder. In here I've got 58 grams of ground almonds. We'll need a little bit of vanilla extract, 3 tablespoons of milk in total, and then when it comes to the icing we'll need a bit of marzipan. That's some that I've got left over from yesterday's cake.
I've eaten a bit.
It's a little bit less than there should be, and we've got some butter that's warming up for use in the
Cake.
icing. So that's the ingredients. Now, last time I made one, I messed about with the art of origami, trying to separate the various parts of the colours of the mix. On this occasion, I've got a cake tin that comes apart. It's made by Meccano. I don't know whether you can see it there or not, but basically it's a 12-inch tin that you can subdivide into a variety of different sizes, and I've created 2 sections that are each 8 by 4 inches in size, and I'll line those and show you those in a second because that's what we're going to use to put the cake mix in. Right, so what we've got here is some parchment paper that is lined on the other side with tin foil, and I've cut them into strips to line with. So these strips are each 4 inches wide and long enough to sit neatly in there, and I'm going to do the same with that one. And then I've got one that goes across there, like that. And then I'm going to use a chopstick that you can nick from Chinese restaurants. Just to make sure all the edges and all the corners are tight. So then we can have a closer look at the tin that's been lined. That there's a slight bubble, but it'll disappear when we put the mix in. But we've got it nice and tight into all of the corners. And the advantage of this, in theory, is that the cake will have nice square edges, which will make the assembly a lot easier later on. Right, so what I've got now is a mixing bowl. I'm actually going to put the mixing bowl on my scales for reasons that will become apparent in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put into there my flour, my sugar, my eggs.
Blue spatula. Blue spatula.
With my blue spatula. My margarine and the ground almonds. Then I'm going to take my whisk. First of all, I'm going to make a note of the fact that it's 516 grams. The reason I need to know it's 516 grams is sooner or later I'm going to split it in two, and I'll need to know exactly how much I've got. As I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it's pretty easy. But this is the mix. It's actually important not to overbeat it, so I'm just going to beat it until it goes glossy and a light colour, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so it's all been mixed up, and the reason I weighed it is I need to split it in half. So it was 516, so we're looking for a remainder of 258 after I've taken some out. So it's 258 grams. So now what I'm going to do is...
How'd you zoom out on this?
Cut.
You're running.
Go on then.
You're running.
Okay, so we've got half of the mix. We've put a little bit of pink food colouring in, or red food colouring. We put 1.5 tablespoons of milk in it, and we've mixed it all up, and that one is ready. And now we've got to do similar with the plain one, except I'm just going to use vanilla extract and a tiny bit of milk. And I'll come back to you in a second when it's done. Okay, so this one's had 1.5 teaspoonfuls of milk and vanilla extract, and that's ready to go as well. So now what we've got to do is put it in the tin.
Is that a pause or a...
Cut. I said pass it over. Right, in a minute you can start recording.
To me, to you, to you, to me.
Okay, go.
We are going.
Alright, so here's the marzipan, which we're rolling out, and the idea is to get it so that it is the same length as the cake and long enough to go around all four sides. So the cake hopefully is going to end up at about 2 inch high and about 6 inches long. So
Look at the camera.
we might not have enough marzipan.
Of course we will. I'll stop eating it.
Anyway, we'll come back when we've got the cake out, and we'll look at it in a little while. This is the bit that I hate, all the hanging around while the fucking thing's in the cooker.
Where are you? Never let it cook, Jonesy.
James Martin has one in the oven that he's already prepared.
Yeah, well he's a wanker.
Ah, a wanker from Stoke Cherry. If Mary Berry watches this, she could have a bit of an education. This next bit is it's an engineering feat rather than cooking.
I think she probably knows how to put marzipan on a... What's it, Jonesy?
No, she doesn't. She puts bloody... In her recipe, she puts the butter icing on the cake, which is almost impossible because it's like bloody mortar. She should put it on the marzipan. I'll show you. Put it on the marzipan, wrap it round the cake. Were we putting jam inside, by the way?
Yeah.
What sort?
Strawberry. There's some in the fridge. Do you want to take it out so it warms up a little? Jonesy?
Does it make any difference?
Yeah, take it out of the fridge for fuck's sake.
Alright.